Let me start with a little fantasy moment. Picture this. You're not doing anything special. Maybe you're walking around the house in a loose tee. Maybe you're brushing your hair. Maybe you're just laughing at something on your phone and suddenly he looks at you like he can't breathe. Like something about you in that exact moment just hit him so hard he can't think straight. His whole body wakes up. His mind switches from calm to craving, and he's looking at you like, oh damn, I want her right now. Every woman knows that look, the one where his eyes soften, darken, and spark all at once. And here's the secret, it's not always about how you look. It's not about being perfect or sexy 24/7 or trying too hard. Men want sex most when a woman shows certain traits that flip a switch inside them, traits that make them feel desired, safe, challenged, excited, and connected all at once. Traits that make a man feel like he's not just looking at a woman, he's looking at his woman. And what's even more beautiful, most of these traits aren't about the body, they're about energy. They're about how you move, how you talk, the vibe you carry, and the way you make him feel when he's around you. So today we're diving into exactly what those traits are, not so you can perform, not so you can change, but so you can understand that there are parts of your natural feminine energy that drive a man crazy in the best way. When a woman embodies these traits, she doesn't just attract a man sexually, she awakens him, inspires him, and makes him feel alive with her. Because sex for a man isn't just physical, not with the woman he loves. It's emotional, it's psychological, it's spiritual. And when you activate these traits, you create a connection he can't resist, a pull he can't explain, and a desire that goes deeper than attraction. It becomes longing. So let's talk about the traits that make a man want you most, the traits that make him reach for you, crave you, and adore you. Let's break down the energy that turns him on, lights him up, and keeps him coming back for more every single time. Playful femininity is one of the strongest, most irresistible energies a woman can bring into a relationship because it awakens a man's desire in a way that feels natural, exciting, and deeply intimate. When you're playful, you create an atmosphere that feels light instead of heavy, inviting instead of demanding, and warm instead of distant. Playfulness isn't about acting childish or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about letting a softer, sweeter, more teasing side of you come out in moments where the connection can grow. Men respond to that energy instantly because it reminds them of what attraction felt like at the very beginning. Effortless, flirtatious, full of spark. Think about how powerful a simple teasing smile can be. When you look at him, like you're holding a delicious little secret, when you laugh softly at something he says and give him that playful, really? Look, when you touch his arm lightly as you walk past him, these small gestures speak louder than any words. They tell him you enjoy him, you're comfortable around him, you like the dynamic between you two. And that feeling makes him want you more, emotionally and physically. Playfulness creates a kind of electricity in the air, a tension he craves, a magnetism he can't resist. Men also love playful femininity because it brings out a different version of themselves. When you're playful, you make him feel lighter too. You remind him that he doesn't always have to be serious, responsible, or on. Around you, he gets to relax, laugh, and enjoy the moment. That shift opens the door to intimacy because he associates being near you with pleasure, comfort, and fun. It's not just about the sexual pull, it's about the emotional freedom that playful women create. And when a man feels emotionally free, his desire for physical closeness skyrockets. Playful femininity also creates anticipation, and anticipation is one of the strongest forms of desire. When you tease him a little, when you flirt without giving everything away, when you walk past him with a subtle smile or whisper something soft and unexpected, you make him think about you long after the moment has passed. Men want sex most when a woman gives them that feeling that I want her and I want more of her, rush that comes from being delighted, surprised, and drawn into her world. It's not about perfection. It's about presence. It's about energy. And when your feminine playfulness comes through naturally, it becomes one of the most seductive traits a woman can ever have because it touches both his heart and his desire. Confidence without trying too hard is one of the most hypnotic traits a woman can carry. because it's not loud, dramatic, or attention-seeking. It's quiet, magnetic, and deeply feminine. It's the kind of confidence that isn't performed, it's felt. And when a man senses that energy in a woman, it triggers something instinctive in him. He doesn't just see her as attractive, he sees her as unforgettable. This type of confidence tells him, without a single word, I know my worth. I know who I am. I don't need to chase, prove, or compete. I'm already enough. And that is the energy that makes a man want you more, touch you more gently, desire you more intensely. This kind of confidence shows up in the smallest ways. It's in the way you walk into a room without rushing or shrinking yourself. It's in the way you speak, calm, warm, certain, without needing to dominate the space. It's how you hold eye contact just long enough to create a spark, then look away with a soft smile that leaves him wondering what's going on inside that beautiful mind of yours. It's the way you can sit with silence without feeling uncomfortable, because you trust that your presence alone is enough to hold his attention. Men sense that, they feel that, and they crave it. Confidence without trying too hard also means you're not seeking validation from him, and that is incredibly attractive. You're not fishing for compliments, not worried about whether you look perfect, not glued to insecurities. Instead, you move from a place of self-assurance, knowing you bring value simply by being you. That makes a man lean in. It makes him want to impress you, to earn you, to show up better for you, because the more grounded you are in your worth, the more he wants to rise to meet you. But the real magic, it's how this type of confidence affects intimacy. When you're comfortable in your skin, when you're not performing or pretending, but simply allowing yourself to be present and real, he feels that authenticity. It relaxes him, it turns him on, it makes him feel safe enough to be vulnerable and bold enough to be passionate. Confidence becomes sensual, not because you're trying to be sexy, but because you naturally radiate self-acceptance, and nothing is sexier to a man than a woman who is fully at home in herself. This is the confidence that doesn't shout, but whispers. It doesn't demand attention, but effortlessly receives it. And it makes a man want you in the deepest, most instinctive way, not for a moment, but again and again. Warm, emotional presence is one of the most powerful traits that draws a man closer, not just emotionally, but physically. When a woman carries that calm, grounded, nurturing energy, she becomes the place where he feels safe, understood, and wanted. And that sense of emotional comfort transforms directly into desire. Men don't always talk about it, but they crave connection more deeply than they admit. When he feels your warmth, when your energy says, I see you, I feel you, I'm here with you, something inside him relaxes. And that relaxation opens the door to intimacy in the most natural way. Warm emotional presence is the opposite of chaos and pressure. It's not about fixing him, judging him, or trying to control his moods. It's about listening with your heart instead of just your ears. It's about the way you tilt your head slightly when he talks, the way your eyes soften when he opens up, the way you give him your attention without distraction. That level of presence makes him feel chosen. It makes him feel important, and when a man feels emotionally prioritized, his physical desire for you intensifies. Men want sex most not just when they're turned on, but when they feel emotionally connected to the woman turning them on. Your presence becomes a soothing energy he wants to return to. After a long day of noise, competition, stress, and pressure, you become the softness he craves. He feels seen, not judged, valued, not dismissed. And in that emotional safety, his passion grows. Because when a man feels safe, his desire isn't just physical, it becomes tender, deep, and hungry. He wants you not just with his body, but with his heart. Warm emotional presence also means you're emotionally open in return. You let him feel your affection, your softness, your care. You're not cold, distant, or guarded. You allow him in. You let him experience your laughter, your vulnerability, your slow breath when you lean into him. That emotional openness signals trust. And trust is one of the strongest aphrodisiacs for a man who genuinely cares. This presence doesn't require grand gestures. It's in the little ways you show up. the way you touch his arm when he's talking, the way you gently place your hand on his chest when he's stressed, the way your voice softens when you say his name. These moments wrap around him like warmth, grounding him, inviting him, awakening him. Men don't just want a beautiful woman. They want a woman whose emotional presence makes them feel alive, calm, and deeply connected. And when you carry that warmth, you don't just attract him, you become the woman he hungers for. Again, appreciation and admiration are incredibly powerful traits that deeply affect a man's desire, emotional connection, and overall sense of well-being in a relationship. Men, much like women, thrive on feeling seen, valued, and respected. When a woman genuinely admires him, not just for what he does, but for who he is, it activates something primal in him. It makes him feel competent, confident, and deeply motivated to reciprocate that affection. This isn't about flattery or empty words. It's about conveying genuine recognition of his strengths, his efforts, and the qualities that make him unique. When a woman shows appreciation, she's sending a clear message. I see you, I see the effort you put in, I see the man you are, and it matters to me. That acknowledgement taps into a man's emotional core, creating a sense of safety, pride, and fulfillment. Men are wired to respond to this type of energy because it reassures them that they are valued and that their contribution, emotional, physical, or even practical, is noticed and respected. That feeling sparks attraction and sexual desire in a way that superficial compliments never can. He wants to connect more deeply because he feels understood and celebrated by the woman he loves. Admiration also fosters intimacy and emotional closeness. When you express admiration for his qualities, whether it's his sense of humor, his work ethic, or the way he protects and cares for you, it makes him feel proud to be himself around you. Pride in the eyes of the person you love is intoxicating for men. It builds emotional bonds and creates a dynamic where he feels safe being vulnerable, playful, and ultimately more physically affectionate. This admiration acts as a kind of magnet, drawing him in emotionally and igniting desire simultaneously. Moreover, appreciation doesn't have to be extravagant. It's in the small gestures, thanking him for taking the trash out, telling him how good he looks in that shirt, acknowledging how thoughtful he was in a situation. These moments of genuine recognition accumulate, creating a relationship filled with positivity and mutual respect. Over time, they not only enhance intimacy, but also strengthen the connection that fuels a man's attraction and sexual desire. Ultimately, the trait of appreciation and admiration is life-changing in relationships. It goes beyond ego or validation. It taps into a man's emotional and physical drive. When you consistently show him that you notice, value, and admire who he truly is, you awaken a depth of attraction and desire that keeps him coming back emotionally, mentally, and physically over and over again. Effortless sensuality is one of the most magnetic traits a woman can have because it doesn't rely on trying too hard or performing for a man's attention. Instead, it's an energy, subtle, natural, and deeply captivating. When a woman carries effortless sensuality, she draws a man in without speaking, without grand gestures, without the need for validation. It's in the way she moves, the way she carries herself, and the quiet confidence that radiates from her presence. Men are wired to respond to this energy because it signals authenticity, confidence, and an intimate connection to one's own body and essence. Effortless sensuality can appear in the simplest of gestures, a soft brush of the hair from the face, a lingering glance, the way she laughs or leans in slightly closer during conversation. It's not about being provocative or overtly sexual. It's about the natural rhythm of her energy, her comfort with herself, and the subtle cues that make him notice her in a completely different way. This is the kind of allure that makes a man pause mid-thought, suddenly aware of her presence in a way that triggers desire. It's mysterious, playful, and intoxicating because it feels unforced and genuine. Men are particularly drawn to women who embody this trait because it makes intimacy feel alive and effortless. It invites connection without pressure, encourages closeness without demands, and signals that she is in touch with her feminine energy and comfortable in her own skin. Effortless sensuality also creates anticipation. A man becomes captivated not just by her appearance, but by her energy, her movement, and the way she inhabits her body. That anticipation builds attraction over time and makes desire deeper and more consistent. Importantly, effortless sensuality also communicates confidence without arrogance. It's a balance between being comfortable in one's sexuality while remaining authentic and approachable. A woman who exudes this energy doesn't need to overcompensate or rely on external validation. She simply exists in her own power. That energy is intoxicating to men because it feels rare, real, and magnetic, a combination that triggers emotional and physical desire simultaneously. In essence, effortless sensuality is not something you can force. It's cultivated by self-awareness, confidence, and comfort in one's body and femininity. When a woman embodies this trait, men are naturally drawn to her, compelled to connect with her, and inspired to express desire in ways that go far beyond physical attraction alone. It's the quiet, natural magnetism that makes men want her again and again, emotionally and physically. Emotional mystery and depth is a trait that captivates men in ways that go far beyond the superficial. It's not about being distant or secretive just for the sake of it. It's about having layers, a complexity of emotions, thoughts, and desires that invite him in and keep him intrigued. Men are wired to explore, to understand, and to uncover the inner world of someone they care about. When a woman demonstrates emotional depth, she creates a magnetic pull that stimulates his curiosity and desire, making him want to connect with her on a deeper level, both emotionally and physically. This trait manifests in subtle ways. It might be the way she shares just enough of her thoughts and feelings to engage him, while leaving certain things to discover over time. It could be the way she pauses before responding, giving her words weight and meaning, or the way she allows a quiet, reflective energy to exist around her. Emotional depth signals that there's more to her than meets the eye, that she has a rich inner life, and that intimacy with her will never be shallow or predictable. This complexity keeps a man mentally engaged and emotionally invested. Mystery also plays a crucial role in sustaining desire. When a man feels like he can't fully figure you out instantly, he stays curious and attentive. He wants to understand you, connect with you, and explore your world. That anticipation fuels both emotional closeness and sexual desire. Men are naturally drawn to what challenges them in a safe and inviting way, and emotional depth provides exactly that. It creates a dynamic where he feels compelled to show up fully, to listen, to engage, and to invest in the relationship. Importantly, emotional depth also communicates authenticity. A woman who expresses her feelings thoughtfully, shares her fears and dreams, and maintains a sense of individuality demonstrates self-awareness and emotional intelligence. Men are instinctively attracted to this because it signals stability, maturity, and the capacity for a meaningful connection. It's not just about being intriguing, it's about being real, layered, and alive. In essence, emotional mystery and depth make a woman irresistible because she offers a connection that is rich, evolving, and endlessly engaging. Men don't just desire her physically, they desire the experience of understanding her, connecting with her, and being drawn into the complexity of her heart and mind. This trait transforms attraction into a deeper longing, creating bonds that are both intimate and electrifying, and ensuring that desire stays alive over the long term.